You can't even see because okay, here. Let me try to mute it with ooh. I think it's because these are all really, really light. Try like this. And then try like this. I called it that, but like I don't really have oneus news. Huh? Hi. I still gotta watch the Lakota. What? I can teach you more Lakota. Do you need to know more Lakota? Because I got you. Taya tuashte. Tonik tukahe. Daya yahi ksto. Anyway, hi everyone. Twin, do you remember me? I've been so swamped to school. I do. I hope you've been well. I hope things have been going well for you. You can see through my glasses. Okay, let me pick something where like I'm not gonna leak anything. Not that I have things to leak. I don't have things to leak. It's okay. Some of us have bedtimes. Who? I'm just kidding. I understand. I get you. Hello, I have to leave in 5 for school. I hope you have a good day at school. I really do. Does my hair look goofy? Be honest. I think maybe I gotta untie. Hold on. Leak your SSN so you can take my $5 from me and my bad credit score. Okay, yeah, sure. How? Why? 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 See the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls me. And no one knows how far it goes. I won't believe me because it's the first day. Wait, why so late? Or is it on time? I don't want your money, just your identity. You know what? Why do I'm having such a hard time. Anyways. Is it too zoomed in? Maybe that's my problem. I think it's like it's too zoomed in, so it looks goofy. All right, here, let me go back over here and then try to fix it. I didn't even grab my comb. Here, it starts the 11th. That's crazy. Losses. Yeah, I actually saw. Let me grab my comb. Because I can absolutely just cannot live without my comb. That's crazy. Hello, hi everyone, hi. I gotta put these back on. I've also I had my hair in like a certain hairstyle all day, and one thing about my hair is that it holds shape really well. It's like a blessing and a curse. See you on another live. Thank you for hanging out today. I hope you have a good day at school. What the heck is going on here? Anyway, my hair holds shape really, really well. And so it tends to like, however, this is also, it really goes into why I don't remember if we talked about it on like a regular stream or a secret stream. I was talking about how I either wash my hair. I wash my hair like every day. Because I shower every day. But only because it's the only way I can manage my hair is if I wash it every day. Because it holds shape too well. So like if I wear a certain hairstyle, I have to wash it to get that shape out of my hair. So anyways, today I had my hair kind of like pulled back in a ponytail. But I didn't want to do that for stream. Because I don't know how it looks. Hold on, let me see. Let me see how it looks in a ponytail on stream. I didn't really want that look for stream, so I pulled my hair out, but because it's like Do you see where I had the rubber band? I tried to cut, like, take it out, but mullet when? No. Hi, bro. You should still shower. I mean, I shower every day, but like I know it's not really a good thing to wash your hair every day. But I also have I have like thick hair too. Thick and long hair. And I don't know, like it's not really been detrimental for me to wash my hair every day. But I do know that it's really not a good thing. Are you Japanese? No. Just so you know, you're very beautiful. Thanks. Oh my gosh, thanks guys. Thanks everyone. Hi, hello. Oh, it doesn't look that bad. Hold on. Let me try to wear it how I had it today. Wanna hook up? Who said anything about that? Sorry, I don't hook up with random people. I'm from Brazil. Nice. You can't even see the scrunchie, but yeah. How could you come in here and just ask that? Valid question, but like you didn't even get to know me. See, it looks goofy. Well, it doesn't look goofy. It's just because all my hair. Okay. Anyways, this is the style I had my hair in today. And it's cute. It's just I didn't want to look like that for stream. It's hot in here, man. Oh my god, it's hot. So I pulled it out. I don't know English. I can't speak English. I'm a huge hater of that song. I'm sorry. 외국인들 한국인 메이크업 하니? 전화 예쁜 거 봤어? Okay, you know what? I'm learning. I can read it for sure. See the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls me. Wait, I looked up the other one. And no one knows how far it goes. Oh. Are you a K-popper? Yeah, we're all K-poppers. What the heck is wrong with my... Okay. What is she yelling about? Oh. That's what I thought it said, but I wanted to make sure. I mean... I don't know. I don't really know. There are some parts of my makeup routine that are influenced by Korean makeup, but like I don't do much Korean makeup because I don't have Korean features. So like Korean makeup on me is like not gonna look good, you know? But like I do take like certain things here and there, if that's what you know. But overall, you know, like I don't have Korean features. So Korean makeup on me is gonna look goofy, right? I found you very cute, subscriber. Thank you. The other like kind of, I guess, negative thing about makeup, especially for like me, is because I'm native, and natives have very like they have a lot of different, you know, races and ethnic backgrounds. Like people, they have certain features that stand out the most. And for natives is something we have is really prominent cheekbones. Prominent cheekbones, and let me think of something else that's, I mean, that's really the only thing I think I can think of. That's like pretty, like, you just see it in a lot of native people. But kind of like the bad thing is that we don't have a lot of native representation in media especially, but like people to like look up to kind of the same way other people do. And so, you know, like a lot of like, I'll say girls, because girls mostly are the ones that use makeup. girls, like, they're able to look at people who are like the same ethnic background and race as them, people who are popular and like celebrities and all this stuff in the media, and be able to see like makeup styles that could fit them based on their features and stuff. Now, native girls don't have that because there's not much native representation in like a popularity level, like a high popularity level. So it's harder to like really find your style of, or especially like a generalized makeup style, because it's like, who can we look at? All of the women that we see don't have features the way that we do. And so it's a lot of trial and error for a lot of native women. And it was for me too. Okay, I think it still is. Um so it's like, even though I like certain makeup styles on other people who are like different races than me, it's like I know that that's not going to look the same way on me because I'm, we got different like we got different prominent facial features and all this stuff. So all that to say that even though there are some Korean influences in my makeup, it's not really based on it because, you know, I can't do the same thing and have it look the same way because it's not going to sit right. Can I get your number unless you can give it to me? I don't give out my number on the internet. I'm sorry. Just be yourself, not copyright the people. You're beautiful. Thank you. Why it's normal, the girl beautiful without makeup. I mean, girls are beautiful without makeup, but I don't think it's a bad thing for girls and even guys if they want to. Um, I don't think it's a bad thing for them to want to wear makeup, okay? Because really it's like what makes us feel pretty. Now, I think if we're using makeup, like if a woman or someone is using makeup because that's the only way they feel pretty, then I think maybe there is where we need to like, maybe take a step back and reassess like our self image and stuff. But a lot of times it's like girls don't feel like that. They don't think that makeup is going to make them pretty. It's just that they maybe think that makeup is just going to enhance what beauty they already have. You know? Like I think a lot of girls don't mind how they look without makeup. It's just a nice thing to have. I can listen to you yap all day about anything. Oh, that's crazy. Thank you, though. Thank you. Loser, could you love me? Or loser, if I lose her, tell me yeah. Me and Rachel are trying to find color analysis near us to see what color she does. I want to do color analysis really bad. I really wanted to do it when I went to Korea. But I couldn't fit it into my schedule nor my budget because like my budget was planned for like other things. So I couldn't really fit it in. But I do want to do it at some point because I'm really interested. I like to think I might already know what colors would fit me, but I would like to know like the specific palette and maybe so I can like find maybe just a wider range of colors to be able to use. Cause like right now, I think I match a lot of like warm, what's the word? See, but this is the thing is like, I don't know, you know how like they're like season based? They're like, you're like an autumn, like a cool autumn or something, or like a warm winter. Like, I don't know what it is in that terminology. I almost want to say it's like winter based. I think. Either like I seen it and it lined up perfectly with one of those, or somebody told me one time, I forgot. That I'm like, I fall into like the winter analysis. And I was like, because I think what tones I think that I match more of like a summer tone. But I don't know. All I know is I match more warmer tones of things. That's why I look really good in like pink and like orange, but like a muted orange, like a light orange. Not light orange. Not like the neon or bright orange, but if it's like, what's the word? Like a darker orange or like browns. Browns I think I look good in. Definitely not any like, I don't look good in gray. I don't really look good in like like a dark blue or like a dark purple, like things like that. I know I don't look good in those, but I don't know. I think it'd be nice to like find out the entire analysis. What's your opinion on Charlie? And you mean the guy that died today? Honestly, I think at the end of the day, um, at the how do I want to say this? I don't think people deserve to lose their lives, um, or that we should really be wishing on people's deaths like that. But at the same time, I know that he was like everything that he believed in was like crazy. So I guess really the only thing I can think of is like it just kind of it just looks like karma at the end of the day. You know, like he said a lot of strange things about I mean, I don't want to get too political because like that's really not what I'm about on this channel, okay? Low key. But he did say a lot of things about about everything. But the most ironic thing was his view on gun violence and that was how he died. So it just feels like karma at the end of the day. He was still a person. I mean, yeah, he was a terrible person for sure. But like I said, like I don't think we should be wishing on people's I mean, because death is just such like a permanent thing. Like it's just such an extreme thing. And I don't think that like people like saying that they were, glad that he died and stuff is crazy. That's insane. I don't know why we're saying that about anybody. But at the same time, it's like it's kind of why I can really only sum it up as like karma. Like you say all these crazy things about something and then that's kind of like what happens to you at the end of the day. Like, it's like laughing at somebody who tripped over a rock and then you trip over a rock too. You're so pretty. Thanks. Good evening. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing great. Nice glasses. Thank you. I'm so what? I'm so I try not to listen to the news for me. I'm not interested in how messed up this world is. It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's a scary world we live in for sure. What is going on here? Do you see this? How is it? All right. Anyways, I missed you. I move in this Saturday. Oh my gosh. Are you having your housewarming party? Are we invited? Can you remove your glutton? What if I don't want to? What if I don't want to? What's going on here? We're talking. Oh yeah, I gotta give you your daily dose of oneus news. Let me try to tell you what oneus has been up to recently. I don't know. I also I like your tattoos, so beautiful. Thank you. I said I'd fly you out. Yeah. Where's my invitation? Flex your muscles. Hello? Oh. What the heck? Okay. Daily dose of oneus news. They have been pretty silent recently. Honestly, kind of surprisingly, the one that's been like kind of the most busy recently is Soho. Hello? Soho's in the military. You're telling me he's been more busy than oneus themselves. But oneus is having a concert. They're having their concert in Seoul this weekend, so I'm just assuming that they've been practicing and preparing for that. Right? They've had no like official schedules or anything. Soho's been doing performances in the military. Like last weekend he did like a little what was it? He sang like 4 songs. 2 of them were covers, and then 2 of them were, one was a oneus song and one was his other song. Bro's booked and busy in the military. And then a few days later, actually it was the other day, I think it was 2 days ago, he did well, they had this festival, this military festival, and it was a bunch of the idols that were enlisted right now. They all did like a performance of cover dances, and I think it was the I think it was the funniest thing ever. But it was cute, okay? It was adorable. Anyways, other than that, oneus has really not been doing much. I'm so sorry. Thank you. You'll get it once I schedule the housewarming party, which will probably be once I... Okay. All right, yeah. I have a friend of mine help. Okay, period. Can we check your outfit? Yep. Here you go. That's my outfit. I have to comb my bangs, bro. See my hair. Oh my god. The other thing too is I have to trim my bangs eventually. They're getting long. My concert yesterday was a blast. You mean the Triple S concert? Is that what you're talking about? She asked me for Pinterest board for inspo, and now she's doing mock. Oh. Yeah, interior design is so fun. Kind of. Kinda, sorta. Mm. I'm trying not to yawn, sorry. Seems like they're moving the boys to a lot of smaller venues for their tour. I saw. I actually didn't know that that's what they were doing. I didn't know they were switching them to smaller venues. I just saw somebody on my timeline say something about how they're changing venues. I was like, oh. I saw that they canceled the Oakland stop, which is crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying not to yawn. I'm trying not to yawn. Triple S. Oh, period. Was it fun? Did you have fun? Oh, anyway. I don't really know how I feel about all these groups. Like, well, one especially, like, going on tour. Two, going on tour all at the exact same time. I don't know why. I don't know why, like, there was no, like, industry discussions on who's going on tour in the US or anything. Because I think if they all were to sit down, like, representatives from the companies, and go sit down, sorry, have a meeting with each other, and, like, talk about, like, the groups and their endeavors and whatnot, they would find out that they're all touring at the exact same time. And then they would all be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that. Because then if we're all touring, all 20 groups are touring at the exact same time, it's like now our ticket sales are going to be affected, right? Because it's like you're going to allocate, let's just say, 1,000 fans for 20 concerts that are happening days within each other, sometimes on the same day. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. This is crazy. You know, and like that's obviously if you're touring at the exact same time, that's obviously going to affect ticket sales. I don't know why we're not talking to each other about that. And so I hate to say, it's almost just, it's like something that they like have to learn as they do it. To realize that it probably is important to have discussions on like with other companies about when you're doing things, because companies do that with comebacks. A lot of like representatives from the companies, why am I yawning so much? I'm like, okay. Representatives from companies will have big grand meetings with each other to find out when their popular groups are having comebacks so that they don't conflict with each other, but not because they're trying to be nice or not to be like, you know, to let you have your time. It's so that they can maximize the amount of like physical sales they get and like digital like downloads and all this stuff. I don't, I'm so mad. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. It's to maximize like their numbers so that they can win on music shows more. So like, let's just say, okay, let's say like oneus, right? Oneus does not want to have a comeback at the same time like NCT Dream or TXT's having a comeback, because then they'll be promoting on music shows at the same time, and that means oneus will never win. They'll never win because TXT's winning, right? And so companies will do that. They'll make sure like they know. This is also why when you think about it, all right, I don't know if anyone's ever put this into perspective. I learned this a long time ago. Uh, and as soon as I noticed it, I started really looking at when oneus started having their comebacks. I think I noticed around like Blood Moon or so. What came out before Blood Moon? Black Mirror? Maybe it was around Black Mirror, because then I realized it might have been Black Mirror actually, because No Diggity came out, and then I like learned that info in between, and then I saw like, because Black Mirror came out really fast after Devil did the Devil album, and it was weird to everyone because they had just released like a full length album, and then like, was it January, February, March, April, 4 months later they came back with a mini album, and everyone was like, you're already coming back with a mini album? But then I learned this info of like groups, especially smaller groups, if they want more like recognition and promotion and stuff, they'll come back in like times when like no big groups are having comebacks. And so once I saw that oneus was having a comeback 4 months after, because I don't remember who had a comeback. It was like in June. Like oneus had just finished their promotions for Black Mirror, and then like a big group had a comeback twice. No, this was 2021. Maybe not. Why am I yawning so much? This make me mad. I'm so mad. The boys are touring as well. My bias is Eric Sonoma, but I'm already accepting the fact that I'm broke to make more. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. It's the boys, or that's who like what inspired this conversation. Anyways, all that to say that companies have, oh my god, I wish I could punch myself in the face. I'm so serious. All that to say that companies have meetings to schedule their groups' comebacks accordingly to maximize their chance of winning on music shows and stuff. So I don't know why we're not doing that for tours. All right, like maybe find out when big groups are going on tour, especially in the US, because bigger groups, all right, to no one's surprise, have more fans. And you know, they have more fans, and do I want to say it like that? Because it might be kind of true. Big groups tend to have more like not loyal fans. Basically, let's just say a big group is going on tour and they're having a concert on the same day as like this like mid-tier group. Okay, more likely than not, a lot of fans are gonna go to this big group's concert rather than this mid-tier group's concert. That's just how it works, okay? And so I think it would just be really beneficial for people to know, or especially for companies to know, if a big group is going to be touring at the same time as their like mid-sized group, you know? Because also a lot of people, I guess I'm trying not to yawn. I'm actually so mad. I'm so aggravated. I'm so aggravated. I keep yawning. This is ridiculous. I don't want to hear the word tour anymore at this point. I just want a day without that. Same. I don't even care. Now, luckily, like, I really only stan oneus these days. Well, I stan a few other groups, but, like, the only other group that could go on tour, like, realistically, is IVE. And like I'll go to Ive's tour for sure. But like they have not announced anything. So like I'm in the clear. There's two other groups that I really stand. One of them's like kind of on like a unannounced hiatus. They haven't done much since like January. Um Another group I stand seems to only really be staying in Japan and Korea. That's fine. I would love if they came on tour this way, but not sure they will. So, and like oneus, I'm still mad that they pulled out with the tour. Okay, they didn't really need to. I'm still mad that they did, but at least they did, and at least I went. So now I'm done with that. You know, like I have no plans to go to any tours anytime soon. Q and you yawn. Don't say that. I wish I could just punch myself in the face. You look cute. Oh my god. Thanks. I also like your hair and the way you do your makeup and your whole vibe's great. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I forgot to set my yawn counter. Bro, I'm actually yawning like way too much right now. It's kind of making me really mad. Because I'm trying to talk and then I start yawning. Yeah, anyways. What was there was a something I was trying to, I guess it's not that important. Basically, the boys are downgrading their venues. Oh, it was to say that like a lot of groups like start canceling their tours because they don't sell enough tickets. Like, I don't know. Like, that just like feels really sad. And it's a lot of groups have done it. They've canceled their tour so far. The boys is downgrading. I'm actually really glad. Well, I knew. That means your brain needs oxygen. No, it means I need to go to sleep. Talking is just so exhausting. Well, see, when I talk long enough, I won't yawn. So, I don't know why. Deep breaths and you'll relax. Am I just not relaxed? Anyways, I'm really surprised that, well, okay, no, I knew oneus was not going to cancel their tour because any chance that RBW has to make just even a little bit of money, they'll do it. So, I knew they weren't going to cancel their tour. I think my fear, though, was that they were going to cancel some of the dates. Was it? Was that my fear? I thought maybe they would. So, I guess I'm glad that they did it. Well, this was a fear, but it was also, like, kind of true. Was that we were going to go to the concerts and, like, just see really empty venues. And that was kind of true. I cannot tell you how sad Nashville looked. Now, I was actually a little bit disappointed that Nashville was a little sad looking because it was their first time in Nashville. So I expected like there to be just a lot more people there, especially because like it was the first time going to Nashville. But there just wasn't. So I don't know. I'm gonna. Okay. What? That's sick. That is sick. Anyways. Yeah, that's your daily dose of oneus news. They're having their soul concert this weekend, which if I was a psycho, I was actually really thinking about if I should be a psycho. Maybe I'm glad I didn't, but also I don't know. If I wanted to be a psycho, I actually would have just skipped the entire US tour and just went to Korea to see them in Korea. Because I really just like the concert vibe in Korea. Oh. Oh my god. I'm so aggravated. I like the concert experience in Korea. Now, I don't know if that's because everyone that goes to the Korean concerts are like people who just see oneus regularly anyways. So it's like just another event. It's like people who see them at music shows, people who see them like at their fan signs or like at their busking events, or it's just people who are just see them all the time. So they go to a concert, it's just another day for them. And I'm like, this is my favorite thing because I love this. I love when people just kind of treat it like it's just another day. Okay? It's the one thing that kind of aggravates me about US concerts, which I understand we don't see them that much, right? Like they come here like once a year. Bruh. And so I get it, but at the same time, it's like, do we have to act that ridiculous? It's so, it's just so strange to me. And so I kind of like in Korea that people just treat it like it's another day. They're very chill, very nice. And also because it's Korea, duh, like people only go to the concerts of groups that they actually like. They're not gonna go to a concert of like a group that they like. Well, if they do, they'll go sit way in the back or something. Like they genuinely just go to just watch and they'll sit way up top. Um, but a majority of the people that are there are like actual fans, you know? So like everyone knows the songs, everyone knows the fan chants, and everyone just seems super excited to be there. And I'm like, this is just so fun. I really enjoy this. And so if I was sorry, if I was super psychotic, I think I would have went to Seoul to see them this weekend and just have like skipped out the entire US tour. Because in the end, it kind of would have costed the same. It really would have costed the same. Like the whole total would have just been the exact same. But I think it was because they were going to Nashville and like I really wanted to go to Nashville. Like if they were only going to stops that I had already been to, I might have been more inclined to go to Korea. But they were going to Nashville and I've always wanted to go there. If you keep spamming, I'm going to time you out. I don't want to. Anyways. Yeah. Don't time me, then don't spam. It's crazy. Anyways, enough of my yapping. How are you guys? How are you guys? I should how tall are you? I'm pretty tall. I'm pretty tall, I think. Oh my god. All right, no, you're done. You're done. You're done. What should I call this stream? No, I should just leave it. You know what? If you guys can't appreciate oneus, that's really not my problem. 5'7", close. You know what? You know what? I hate. Oh my god. Okay. Now, this is me just kind of shifting the blame to someone else because I don't want to take accountability. But I hate oneus. What happened? Well, he was just being weird and spamming. So I timed him out. Anyways, I hate oneus, okay? Because I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I, for the longest time, well, probably like since I became kind of tall, because I mean, I was always relatively tall, like as a child, I was always kind of on the taller side, but like not too much. But then when I hit like my growth spurt, I like got tall ish, you know? And so I became like after that period when I became tall, became the height that I am, I was really insecure about my height for some reason. I can't tell you why. I don't know why I was so insecure about being tall, but I was. And so I physically I tended to try to make myself smaller, which is funny. Yeah, here's what I mean by that. It's like when I walk, it's something I'm like trying to fix now, but like when I would walk, I would like kind of slouch down. So that like I'm never like standing up straight, and I'm still trying to fix it, okay? But I would always like slouch down, or like if I'm sitting in a chair, I'll always like slouch like really low, which is funny because can you imagine someone tall trying to make themselves small? So, um, I would do things like that. But also when it came to like measuring my height, is like I measured myself so many times to try to see if I can at least not get myself down to a certain height, but just see if maybe I was like measuring wrong the first time or the second time or the fifth time or the 20th time. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. So I had always been really, really precise about exactly how tall I was. All right. So at some point in my life, sometime in high school, I figured out that I am 5'8" and 3/4. Okay. Um, but like I'm a quarter of an inch away from being 5'9". So I thought it would be ridiculous to go around and say I'm 5'8", because even though I am 5'8" and 3/4, right? I'm closer to being 5'9" than I am to being 5'8", like on the exact, like at the 0 mark. So I just kind of start rounding up. I'm like, I'm okay with saying I'm 5'9", because it's pretty much close. It's like no one's gonna look at me and be like, you're not 5'9", you're 5'8.5", like, you know. So I round up, I say I'm 5'9". And so that's how tall I am. Okay, I swear to God, because I like I said, I've always been pretty insecure about how tall I am. So like I've measured myself down to like the quarter of an inch. I'm 5'8" and 3/4. Now how would I say 5'9"? Yeah. How would I say this? I know idols, especially male idols, lie about their heights all the time. All of the time. And because I'm a tall girl, one of my favorite things to do is to stand next to K-pop idols, male idols, and just see how tall I am compared to them, and then to go online later and then to see if that height matches. Okay? I think I've only really run into that instance like a couple of times where I would look up their heights and it would be different, and I'll be like, it'll say they're like 5'10.5", and I'm like, we were the same height. I hate to tell you we're the same height, and I'm 5'9". Um, Hi. Anyways, so I did this the first time I seen oneus 6 years ago, right? I did this. I like assessed my height next to all of oneus. Now, the thing about oneus is they actually are all pretty tall, minus Hwanwoong, but like of course, um, is that they're all pretty tall because the next shortest member after Hwanwoong, I think, is Soho. Okay, no. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, this goes into my story, okay? This is why okay. According to me, all right, based on my personal assessment, because the heights, like, listed online, ah, the heights listed online and then, like, in all this other stuff is gonna be different from what I say. And also, share with the class. Okay. But also, I need to talk about my most recent experience too, because like I'm all sorts of confused. So the first time I saw oneus from shortest to tallest, okay, It was Hwanwoong, and then it was Soho, and then it was Xion and Lido felt like they were the same height to me. They were, I thought Xion was taller at the when I first seen them. I thought Lido was a little bit shorter than Xion, but I would say they were about the same height. And then it was Raven, and then it was Kunhee, obviously. The first time I seen them. Now the next few times I seen them, they were sitting down. Could not assess, right? The next time I seen them standing up and me next to them was in 2023 for Reach for Us. And based on that assessment, on that height assessment, it was from shortest to tallest was Hwanwoong. No, it was about the same. It was Hwanwoong, Soho, Xion, and Lido, but I think Xion was shorter than Lido, and then Kunhee. This is why I'm so like. This is why I'm really mad at oneus. I hate oneus for this reason specifically, because during the Reach for Us tour, I had well, the last stop I went to was Houston, and I had a VVIP, which came with a group photo. And I happened to be like, well, I sat kind of by Soho, kind of. I was just way on the end, and he was standing behind the girl next to me on my left. So I was just like off in the corner by myself. But then we stood up, and like somebody down and like a few people in front of us, like because we're all in a group of 10. She, for some reason, put all 50 of her items down on the floor. So she's taking her time picking up all her items from the floor. So like we're standing, like I'm standing there, and then my friend behind me is standing there. And she's a big Soho fan too. It's a different friend. She's a big Soho fan. So, but she like has talked to Soho before. Like they've had like fan calls and stuff. I've never talked to Soho in my life, okay? I was nervous and afraid to be standing there in front of Soho for that long. Matter of fact, if she wasn't there, Soho's standing right here, okay? He's standing right here. There's a chair separating us, and he's standing right there. And so if it was up to me and she wasn't standing there and she didn't like initiate conversation, I would have faced this way the entire time and never has said anything to him at all. I might have maybe looked, I probably would have looked and been like smiled and been like, hey, or something, and that's it. I would not have talked to him at all. But she's like comfortable talking to Soho. So she turns to him and starts saying things to him. And I was like, well, since she's talking to Soho, I want to talk to Soho. And so I turn and I look at Soho, and we're like eye level. Okay, this is the first thing I look at too. As soon as I look at him, I like start looking at how tall he is. I swear to you, we're the exact same height. He might be like this much taller, but like it's like not noticeable at all. We're like, I'm looking at him in his eyes. I was like, I was also just a little baffled, I think, because I thought he would be a little taller, just a little bit. But we're like the exact same height. And I was like, okay. It's like, well, at least he's not shorter, At least he's the same height. So like I noted this in my brain. I'm like, he's the same height as me. And that checked out because all the other times I saw him in like the high touch, we were like the same. Like he's never looked taller than me. So Soho to me is the same height. And Xion, okay, even from the first time I saw Xion 6 years ago, he's always looked taller than me. He's always felt taller than me. It felt like I was always looking at, like, I swear to you, he's like, here I am. He's like right here or something, like just noticeably taller. And so I was like, okay, yeah, Xion's taller than me. Okay. Except when like on their like profile listing, Xion is like, he's supposedly shorter than Soho. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. Because to me, Soho's the same height as me. Very obviously the same height. But Xion looks like he's taller than me. But their height difference listed on their profiles is like they're supposed to be like an inch or so. Like, And so I was like, okay, well maybe he's just like, maybe that's just not correct. But then sometimes I'll see clips of them standing next to each other and Soho's taller than Xion. So I'm like, somebody's lying and it's not me. It is not me. How could I be lying? You know what I mean? Xian's taller in person. I thought that he was shorter. That's what I'm saying. He's like much taller in person. Because they say online he's supposed to be like 5'9", but he's taller than me and I'm 5'9". Okay? Um, and Lido, supposedly he's 5'10". I guess that makes sense. I guess that could make sense. It's just, you think about an inch, it's really only like this. But he, like, Lido he felt taller. He just seemed taller, you know? Like, I don't know. Kanhi obviously is tall. He's giving, like, 6 foot vibes. I think he's 6 foot. Well, I don't know. He doesn't seem like that much taller. But I could see how Lido and Kunhee are still, like, Kunhee is still taller than Lido, but they're still both kind of tall. So I guess I get, Lido I would say is 5'10.5". I think I would give him that. Kunhee might be like 5'11" or 5'11.5". Maybe not quite 6 foot. Or is he 6 foot? I don't know. He could be. I thought I was the only one that's confused about Soho and Xian's height difference. You see what I mean? Okay, so like this is why. Because it has always confused me, but I was like, well, maybe it's just like the way we're all positioned and all. I don't know. I was trying to like logically explain why this could be the thing. Could be the case. But Xian's much taller. Because even in the photos, I was standing next to him. He's still way taller. He's like this tall. And I was like, you are not 5'9". Don't let anyone tell you you're 5'9". You're like 5'10". He's got to be 5'10". Good for you, Xian. I think he's 5'10". I think Soho is 5'9". Let me see if I can find a clip where they're like... Let me look it on here so I can show you. Let me try to find a clip of them standing next to each other. Because it looks like... It really does look like Soho is taller than Xian sometimes. Oh, anyway, I brought this up because... I brought this up because Hwanwoong is obviously shorter than me, okay? He significantly shorter than me. He's like here, because he's like 5'6", okay? However, we were taking our photos, and I've had experience before of like just taking like candid photos where someone's like, can I have a photo? I'm like, yeah, of course. And then like having to just be ready in like one pose and only getting one take to do it. So I've mastered, well, I haven't mastered it, but I've developed, you know, kind of that habit of being able to pose in like an okay way and have it not be a scuffed photo. So I was doing that in my oneus photos because like I know that they're gonna be one candid photo, and that's it. Like, you know, like they're not gonna redo it if you look dumb. And so I'm like, okay, time to put my like pose skills to use. And so naturally, kind of what I do and something I've learned is that when you're taking a photo, you want to stick your leg out, okay? And I think naturally you'll end up sitting on your back leg, like you'll be putting all your weight on your back leg, and your other leg will be forward in front of you, and it creates like a nice angle. You waited for 10 minutes. If you say anything weird, I'm gonna ban you, so just be careful. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing in all my photos. I'm sticking my left leg out in front of me, and I'm sitting on my back leg so that I'm kind of angled like this. And then I do my pose, and it creates this really nice angle. However, because I'm doing that, I am now making myself, so I'm like this standing up, but if I'm sitting on my back leg, I make myself like 1.5 inches shorter. And I was doing that in all my photos, except oneus does that too. Because, you know, they obviously like they take photos like that all the time, so they're also all doing the same thing where they're sticking their foot, you know, their one leg in front of them, and they're sitting on their back leg, and so we're all kind of going down like this. Now, can you imagine the one person who doesn't do that? So I get to Hwanwoong, and I tell him the pose I want to do, and so I do my one pose to get, you know, to look nice in the photo. He just dicks his back, like he like straightens his spine so much, and then he like puffs up his shoulders so that he like looks taller, okay? So he's like standing up as straight as he possibly can. I'm sitting on my back leg. Made myself 1.5 to 2 inches shorter. And so now me and Hwanung in the photo look like we're the exact same height. And I'm like, Hwanung, my brother in Christ. Because I think, especially on Twitter, I've always made it really apparent that I'm taller than Hwanung. Okay. Now, can you imagine I post this photo of me and Hwanung, we're the exact same height. I look like a liar. I'm like, brother, I get it, okay? Because he did that with almost everyone that was taller than him I saw. Because everyone that wasn't taller than him got like this really cute pose from him, but like everyone that was taller than him, me included, he would like warp himself to be really tall, and I'm like, hold on, it's okay to be shorter. It's fine. It's like I'm prepared. Anyway, so now I look like a liar. Me and Hwanu look like we're the same height in my photo. I'm like, I swear to you. Because even when I walked up to him, I was looking down. I was like, hey, Hwanu. Hey, Hwanu, we're going to do this pose. And he was like, okay. He didn't do that. Oh, he kind of did, but it wasn't that bad. He's like this. The top of his head. No, top of his head's like here to me. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just kind of barely looking down, but I was like, why'd you have to do me like that? It's like, that's crazy. I think Hwanu is 5'5". Yeah, he might be 5'5.5". I just say he's 5'6". I like to give him the benefit of the doubt. Because honestly, only people who are 5'6" are gonna know. Okay? All of us taller than him are like, obviously, duh, you're not as tall as we are. But people shorter are not gonna know he's 5, whatever, 5'5". So I'm like, you know what? You can just say you're 5'6". It's totally fine. Oh, I was gonna try to find a clip. Okay, let me find a clip of Xian standing next to Soho. And see if I can show you what I mean. It's got to be in like this one. They went on like a group trip. But I need a good angle. I need a really good angle. They're in the car. I took a selfie with Yunwoo from Trends, and he's 6 foot, 6'1". He had to spread his legs like, oh my god. Bro. I would actually be devastated. If someone had to do that for me, I'd be like, you know what? It's okay. You can stand up. I'll just get a stool. You know, you know what I mean? Who's this? That's Xian, but he's not ever standing next to Soho. Hold on, let me find a better angle. This is funny. Okay. Well, now I look like a big fat liar. Okay. I don't know if you can really see. Let me see if I can show you a good angle. Hello? He looks like he's way taller. Oh my god. Hold on. Ah, I can't show you. Okay, here. I'll just show you it as it plays. Because you can kind of see. Alright, so this is Hwanung and Soho. So this is literally like me and Hwanung. This is like our height difference. Kind of, okay? But then I saw like how I usually look at their shoulders, because your shoulders will tell you exactly like how far your height difference is. Soho looks like he's way taller than Hwanung, except Hwanung's shoulders. Well, I don't know. Because just in our photo, it looked like that. Let me see if I can find a better one of Soho and Xian. I promise you. Somebody's lying here about their heights. Okay, and it's okay to fix it. It's okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. Well, then just totally. Who's that? That's Xion. Wait. Wait. I think I just look like a big fat liar. Okay. Does he not look? Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me. Does he not look way taller than him? Doesn't he? Wait, that's Lido. Hold on, wait. Look. Am I lying? Am I the liar? Hold on. Like, you can just tell based on their shoulders that Soho looks taller. But I swear to you, okay? I swear to you, I can't be lying. Why would I be lying? He doesn't he? Something's going really wrong here. Because how is Soho the same height as me? But Xian's taller than me. Like, very much so, okay? He's just noticeably taller than me. But Soho is taller than Xian? Do you see how this isn't making sense? Let me think. I think they were too far away. The last time I seen Soho in like a standing position or anything was in Seoul when we were doing we did a high buy event after the concert, and like they were standing up as we were going, because like we kind of did like a drive-by high wave. It was like bye, and then we walked out of the venue. So like oneus is like standing right by the door, except they're also like 5 feet away, 8 feet away. They're kind of far away. So like that's not really a good way to assess how tall they were. Because then before that, the last time I seen them like standing up, wait, no. The last time I was actually that close to Soho. Oh, wait. Wait. I'm not a liar. Hear me out. Do you think they were platforms inside their shoes? That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, I'm sure Hwanung does, you know? But I don't think it makes sense for, like, Kunhee or Lido to wear platforms. They're already tall. And, like, 90% of people are not as tall as them, or even close, to know if they're wearing platforms, you know? But, like, I don't know why Xian would wear platforms. Or insoles. And, like I said, like, this has been the case every single time I've seen Xian. Like, from the first time I seen them in 2019, all the way until 4 weeks ago, it was the exact same. He's always been taller than me. So, now I'm just confused. Okay, because the last time, well, actually, this is a perfect example. It was when I was on the same flight as oneus from Phoenix to LA, and Soho was standing behind me the entire time, right? Because when we started merging into the line, he was like right here. He was right next to me. And even though I wasn't looking at him because like I didn't want to, I could very much see it's a person who's the same height. That's why, this is kind of what I mean, where like he's like a little taller, because I do kind of see that he has just a little bit of height, but it's not much. Like, it just looks like, to like anyone that looks, if I was to stand next to Soho and like anyone just looked at us, we would be almost the same height, you know? But like Xian feels like he's like this, and Soho feels like he's like this. Like, there's just a slight difference. Oh, maybe Xian's like right here, and then Soho's like right here. But like in that clip, it's like the opposite way. I can't be lying. I cannot be lying. Because this is just from my perspective. He stood behind me for 20 minutes. To be fair, I never looked back, though. The only really, like, real assessment I had of that was when he was standing right here trying to cut me in line. Maybe I should have let him cut me in line. Then I would have known. Because then I seen him in Phoenix. We were going through the high wave, and like the one in Phoenix, I think was like kind of the most similar to a high touch, except it was just waving and not a high touch, where we were like right next to them saying bye. And again, Xi'an taller than me, Soho, we're like the same. I'm just really confused. Let me try to find a better angle. Maybe it was the angle. No, he looks. Hold on, look there. Wait, look. Wait, look. Um. Hold on. Let me find a even better angle. What the? So... This is angles though. They need to be standing like directly next to each other for me to really know. I'm so confused. Somebody's lying. Somebody's straight up lying. Okay. Let me look at the other one. Is it me? Am I lying? I don't know. Okay. Oh, no. Anyways, the dilemmas that I have. Okay, what goes on? What happens? So not want us gaslighting tunes. Well, it's more like I said, like nobody else really notices or like can notice if they're not telling the truth. Like this really is just a me thing because I'm the same height. Oh my gosh. But also it's like I just notice it because I like to do this thing where like I see like male idols and then like just see how tall I am next to them. So I obviously do it with oneus all the time. Where? Actually, wait. I know where I can look. They went on a trip recently. This one. But not recent. This was a year ago. I need them out of the car. Out of the car. Standing next to each other. Okay, wait. I'm gonna find it. Watch. I'm gonna find a really good angle of them standing right next to each other. I'm so determined. This is crazy. I'm so determined. Oh. Maybe I'm just lying. Maybe I'm just the hugest liar I've ever met. Maybe that's what it is. But like, does that make sense? Like, that makes no sense to me. Oh no, I couldn't find anything. Maybe I didn't look well enough. Hi, hello. Okay, this is okay. This kind of counts, but not really. Okay, I want you to look at their shoulder placements and not the head placements because they're standing in different places. But do you see this? Do you see? Does that make sense? He looks like he's slightly taller than him. But he's taller than me. But Soho's not taller than... I'm I am the most confused I have ever been in my entire life. This is gonna bug me. This is genuinely really gonna bug me. The only way I can fix this is I just have to see all oneus. Like, I have to stand next to all of oneus again, with Soho included. Then we'll know. Camera angle? Well, I mean, that's why it's hard to, like, try to find a comparison in videos, because, like, it could be. But, like, it's, like, from my personal, like, when I'm seeing them in real life, Xion is taller than me, and Soho is the same height. But, oh, wait. I have a way better way. I have to go find it. Hold on. I know exactly where to look. Hello? What the... what the heck? Bro. I'm gonna... Something is wrong. Something is really wrong. Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm the liar. Look. But Soho's not... What? Wait. Something... I can't tell you why this is such a huge dilemma to me. It's more just like I can't process the fact that this is even a thing. Why Soho... Okay, so this kind of all makes sense aside from this guy. I'm so confused now. Me too! What's going on? So, do you see... Okay, wait. No, Lito's like standing way up front. I need them all to be standing right next to each other first. Well, okay, well... What? I'm really confused. Hold on, I need to find a good angle. Because in all of these angles, Lito is like taller than Kunhee. But that's like not true. Can I ever get to the bottom of this? I don't know. This is just weird. This is so... This is like the most strangest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. Hold on. I'm trying to find a good angle. What? Okay, I'm also trying to find one where they're like not slouching, because like that's, or like putting weight on a different leg. So like, do you see? He's so obviously taller than him. But then Lito, he also, every time I like see different angles, he looks like he's taller than Kunhee. But Kunhee could also just be like leaning on his leg or something. Anyways, I was trying to tell you that all these heights kind of match. If I was to put myself somewhere in this group, maybe I'm a huge liar. Okay, if I was to put myself in like here based on height, I would be like right here. But then that makes him extra... He's not that much taller than me. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, okay. Hold on. Here's my dilemma. He's obviously taller... Do I even dare try to explain this? I'm so confused. Because he's obviously taller than Shion. But Shion is taller than me. I can actually just show you the photo. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Where's it at? I lost the photo. Well, I actually don't really know if that photo is going to be a good... Because like I said, I was leaning on my leg. So he's going to look taller than me regardless. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, see. I'm just confused. Okay. Ah, wait, I don't want to show it to you like that. Let me just open a new tab. I can't. I have to download it. Okay. I can download it. That's fine. Let me just hide that so you don't see all that. Okay, this photo is actually a really bad representation because like I said, I'm leaning back on my leg. He, for some reason, in this specific photo, is like leaning up and like towards the camera. But like, I just want you to take note of like how this height difference exists. Do you see what I'm... He looks incredibly tall. But like I said, this is the skewed... Let me try to see if the other one is a little bit better. That's a skewed version of our height difference. But I just want you to note that it's there. Okay, let me look at this other one. See if this one's any better. Okay, well, this one's not much better, but it's kind of... It's just different because he's also leaning back on his leg. So like me, I'm leaning back on my leg. So is he. But he's also still taller than I am. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I need Soho to come back quick. Because I need to settle this like immediately. How is it that Shion is taller than me, but Soho is taller than Shion, but Soho is not that much taller than me? How does that make sense? I'm so incredibly confused. It's giving like a triangle that doesn't exist or something. Manifesting Kovar VIP with Soho. Yeah, I hope that when he gets out of the military next year, they go on a tour immediately. And then they do the Kovar VIP again. And then I just buy like 4. So I can see Soho 4 times. And then height checks. Oh, that was pigmented. But see, that's what I'm saying. I swear to you, he's never been that much taller than me. Because according to that, he should be the same height as like Lido. Except he's not. He's not the same height as Lido. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you for sure he's not. Bruh. Anyways. Yeah, hopefully someday that'll make sense to me. Okay, I don't know. They wear platforms? Yeah, but I don't know why they would. I don't know why Shion would wear platforms. I can actually look. Can I? I don't know if I can. Let me see. I gotta log in. I don't want to log in. Never mind. I can't see. Risers in their shoes? What? Okay. No. No. That's not true, but... Okay. I mean... Xion could be wearing insoles. It just makes no sense as to why he would. Like, I don't know why he would do that. So, I don't know. How long have I been live? Almost, okay. How about I'll be live for 10 more minutes and I'll cap it on an hour and a half and then I will end for the night so that we can all get some good rest, okay? Okay. All I know is Xian's taller than Dongmyeong. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. To add some lore, okay, let me add some info. Because this is the worst thing ever, actually, now that you say this, like, now I'm even more confused. So, I saw One We back in April, and I had the group photo, and again, this is the same thing that I'm doing, is the way that they had us line up for the group photo is, kind of the same way they did it for oneus. So, like, you're, like, waiting in line, but you can see everyone doing their group photos. So, we had our line kind of going behind the camera, and then it was going to wrap around the camera, and then you would sit with One We, and then after you would leave. So, like, I got to stand there and really, like, look at how tall they were. Because, again, I wanted to know. Like, I was like, I've never seen One We in real life ever. I want to know. So, I start looking at all their heights, and, like, they all kind of make sense. I was like, One We is, like, pretty tall, low-key. Like, Young-hoon, obviously. I think he's the tallest, right? That made sense. And then the next tallest was Harin. And then it was Kang-hyun. And then Dongmyeong and Gyuk were the same height, except, okay, oh my god, except Dongmyeong and Gyuk they were like the same height as me. I like noted that immediately. I was like, Dongmyeong might be like slightly shorter than me, just a little, but like not by much. We're pretty much the same height. So doesn't that just add to the fact that Xion is taller than me? Okay, like 100%, because he's taller than Dongmyeong, and I'm like the same height as Dongmyeong. We're pretty much the same height. Again, I might be a little taller, but that's it. So Xion should be taller than me, but then Soho is taller than Xion, obviously, as we could tell. But this is horrible. Maybe I'm just, but why would I misremember how tall Soho is? Unless he also is just slouching every time I see him. Could that be the case? Like, he could be tall, but maybe he's kind of doing the thing where he's also just, like, leaning on a leg and making himself shorter so that he becomes the same height. But that sounds so well, no, it sounds uncharacteristic. Because I swear to you, I don't think he was standing like that when I seen him in Houston. When we were, like, he was just standing on the other side of the chair. And he was just standing there, you know? And so that's whenever, like, my friend started, like, having conversation. Well, it wasn't a conversation. She just was like, I had a lot of fun today. And he was like, oh, thanks. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to see you in the next stop. And, because the next stop was in Phoenix. She's like, I'm going to see you at the next stop in Phoenix, too. And he was like, oh, okay. You know? And so he was just standing there. He was, like, talking. But I don't think he would be slouching. I guess I just have to see Soho. I just have to see Soho to figure this out. And then all will be well. I think that's what has to happen. Hello. Hi. Hi, hello. Oh my gosh, speaking of Phoenix, I'm going to Phoenix next week. And I cannot believe that I will be there all week. I'm so low-key, pretty low-key. What do you mean low-key? What do you mean? Yeah. English is, what do you mean English is cute? I speak English. I can speak English well. I actually really hate that song is super cute. because I like the song. I just don't like. Well, I think the melody is also really cute too, like the verses. The Alaska, Atlanta, Africa, ODA. Na 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 na, gotta go. Be alright. Na 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 na. I forgot. I don't listen to that song, so I forgot the. Clap, 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 clap. Na 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 na. But then it, like, I don't know, just the whole meaning of that song is kind of cringe to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your language is not difficult. Oh, really? You know what? I've never heard anyone say that English is easy. Because to be fair, it's not. English is like the dumbest language I have ever known. I only know I only know a few other languages. It's just dumb. I hate to say. Do I hate to say that though? I really don't like that it's like the only language I can speak fluently. I wish I could speak a different language fluently. Arabic is harder. It's harder than English. I'm so sorry. I probably will never learn Arabic. I don't even like learning English, and it's my first language. Even English speakers struggle with it. That is so true. No, that is really true. I remember I told this to my coworker last week. He was mentioning how he's been reading a book. It's like a book we have in our store. And he like started reading the book, but then he said that he's been coming across a lot of words that he doesn't know because they're big words. Valid. And he was like, it makes me, or he said something about how he's like, I can't believe I don't even know these big words. And I'm like, in English, first, you know, just has only spoke English his entire life. And then it really made me think. I was like, isn't that crazy? English is our first language, and there's still words that we don't know. You know, like, I mean, who needs to know those words anyways? But like, it's the fact that there's still words that we just don't even know about, or can't, have never heard of in our life, and they're English. Bruh, English is whack. I still remember cat in Lakota. Igmoo. Yeah, cat in Lakota is Igmoo. Igmoo. I can't, hold on. Ig with the G. Igmoo. Dog in Lakota is Shunka. Shunka? Or Shunka? I think it's Shunka. Sorry, I'm like intermediate. Shunka is dog. Bird is Zintkala. Did you hear that right? Zintkala. Zintkala. There we go. Zintkala. What else can I teach you? Oh, deer. Deer is actually a hard word, but it's like a really I think it's a nice word. Let me see if I can say it right. I have to get my gutturals ready. Okay. Deer in Lakota is tachja. Tachja. There we go. Tachja. And I actually recently learned the word for sheep. So sheep is tachja shungala, which one of the fascinating things about Lakota to me is we have a lot of our words are just smaller words put together because they're just trying to, it's just, a lot of times we're just describing what this thing is. So Takja Shunkala is, it translates to deer puppy because Takja is deer and Shunkala is puppy. So it's deer puppy, and that's describing a sheep. It's like my favorite thing in the entire world. It's similar to, yeah, okay. So this is the thing. The thing about Lakota, which I didn't know this until a lot of people have kind of brought it up, is that the phonetic sounds are really similar to German. So like if you know German, you'll probably be able to speak Lakota really well because they just have the same sounds. It's also why a lot of German people, for some reason, like Lakota. The language and the culture and all this. There's a lot of German people who like my culture. And in the summer, so like where I live, we get a lot of tourists. Not sure I want to explain why we get tourists, but just there's a reason why we get tourists where I live. Um we get a lot of tourists in the summer, and half of them are because they just like Lakota people. Respect, you know? Honestly, I would love to like have a conversation about this someday with just random people, or people who don't know anything about natives, because a lot of times when people think of native people, they'll think of like maybe three major tribes. They think of the Navajo, they call them the Sioux, okay? But when people think of the Sioux, they're usually thinking of my people, which is the Lakota. And then they'll think of, I don't know, the Cree or something. I don't know. And so sometimes I just want to know like why. But because of that, a lot of people come to visit like around where I live, because they're like, oh, we want to see the Sioux people, the Lakota people, and so they'll visit. But like half of them are, we get a lot of international people, and those international people tend to be Germans. They tend to be from Germany. That, and then the second most popular is French people. And then sometimes we had some Italians the other day. Who else? People from like the UK don't really come. Not too much. Hey, hi. Oh my gosh, hi. We saw each other in the lives. Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, you're so right. I wanted to talk about that because I thought it was so funny. No, let me tell you how funny it was. It was actually so funny, but I thought it was the like cutest thing in the entire world, because I streamed earlier that night, and I don't remember what we were talking about. It was probably on Monday. I want to say it was probably Monday. And towards the end of the stream, someone like mentioned you or something, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. Laura didn't like stop in today." I was like, "Oh, I hope she's doing okay. You know, hope she's having a good day, whatever." I remember because it was at the end of the stream. So I end the stream and I'm laying in bed. I'm like on my phone. Soho is like, here's a lot. Sent the link on B stage, right? And I'm like, I'm there. So I click the link immediately. I'm watching. I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying to read the comments to see like what's going on, or read the chat. I'm reading the comments. I think I'm. Oh no, I think I typed something. I might have typed Soho's name. I was like, Soho, woo. And then like some seconds pass by, and then I see Laura's message in the chat. she's like she's like she's like, Soho sent me from B stage. I was like, Laura. I was like, what are you doing here? And it's the funniest thing too, is because everyone in that chat is like Korean. They're speaking in Korean. Me and Laura, like the only ones in there talking in English, and we're having like a full-on conversation in front of all these people who are watching for these idols. I was like, this is so funny, but it's like the coolest thing to me too, because it's like, what are you doing here? Oh my god. I'm still here. I was just playing Fortnite. Oh, you know what? That's okay. Really? Yeah, that's crazy. I know. No, it was so funny to me though. The same thing happened. So she stops in sometimes, but she used to watch a long time ago, like pretty frequently. But another person that watches that I know from streams, okay, because she used to be in here a lot, is, I think it was either like a full group oneus live, or it was like Hwanwoong or something. They were doing a live on YouTube and I tuned in. Do I remember what time of day it was? I think it was like morning time here, so it was nighttime there. I don't remember. And so I'm sitting there. I don't really chat that much in streams. It's like sometimes I do here and there. So I'm kind of just watching, but I like to read the comments to see what people are like talking about or whatever. the chat, I should say, the chat. And I see, so her name is Bianca, right? So I see her, she comments something, and I was like, hello? And so I say, I'm like, Bianca, what are you doing here? And so we kind of had the same conversation. We were like, oh my god, fancy seeing you here, and like all this stuff while this member or the group or whatever is live in their chat. It's just like the funniest thing, but I think it's so adorable. I like love seeing people I know in like live streams like that. I get spotted at Kanhi's Instagram lives. Really? I think okay, I tend to miss all of oneus's Instagram lives. It won't give me a notification ever, so like I'm sleeping through all of them. But the time when they were in the US, Kanhi did a live after one of the concerts and I was watching. I think it was Nashville. Or was it not? Maybe it was like Detroit, Cleveland. I was watching and I saw a bunch of my moots commenting stuff too. But I was like, you know what? We're all here for the same thing, so we're all just kind of commenting together. But like nobody said anything, I think. They were just kind of commenting on what the live was about. You were talking about oneus heights and I was getting shot by so many people in my match and I was just like, yeah, different height, huh? Stressed. Yeah, no, don't worry. That's how it felt, really. I didn't expect to see you on that live, but it also isn't surprising because that's that's like even funnier, I think. Is it embarrassing? Kind of. But I like that it's on brand. I love that it's like Soho content. Taylor's there. Yes, I am. Of course I am. It's like AM hours for me. So really? I guess that makes sense. I think for me it was like 1 a.m. Maybe it was almost 2. I think it was almost 2 a.m. because I was just about to go to bed. So like I lay on my phone, scroll on my phone before I go to sleep. So I was like at the end, I was ready to like call it a night. All right, I'm like, I'm gonna look at my last few videos, whatever, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And so as soon as I'm like on my second to last video or something, I see Soho like message, and I'm never awake when Soho's on B stage because I have kind of figured out that honestly, I'll be really honest, I kind of like I sort of use the same schedule-ish that my brother has because my brother is also in the military. And so I've been kind of taking like, I know they're not the same, they're different countries, but I've been taking like tips and tricks from my brother, like, and listening to his experience about the military and all this stuff and kind of relating it to Soho. And it seems to be matching up pretty well so far, which is insane. But one thing I remembered, especially when my brother was in basic training, was, well, maybe. I think it was more so when he was in AIT. Well, in basic training, he could only use his phone. He only got his phone on Sundays for like 2 hours, which okay. I'm a big Soho fan. Okay, I missed the guy. That same thing happened kind of the first few months after he enlisted, is like he would only pop on B stage every weekend. Now he's popping on B stage almost every other day, but it's in a certain time period. And I remember my brother saying that same thing was happening with him with AIT, was that they got their phones, but they were always busy throughout the day to where like they couldn't really be on their phones until a certain period of time. And it was usually in the evening for like a few hours. Okay. So it's kind of the same thing with Soho, is like, I think he can be on his phone for like a few hours in the evening time. Now, unlucky for me, the evening time in Korea is the middle of the night for me. So I'm like stage 3 REM sleep. So every time Soho's on B stage, I'm asleep. So I gotta read it like it's a morning paper. Like I gotta see that he sent messages on B stage like 2 hours ago. Okay? At like 4 a.m. So imagine my surprise. He sends a message on B stage. It's like 1:30. I was like, it's early. What the heck are you doing? So I clicked it immediately because I have never been awake with him sending when he sends a message on B stage. So that's why I clicked it immediately. And then I saw it was live, like the link to the live stream. So I was gonna watch it, but I was also tired. I was like, I have to go to bed. I was like, sorry, Soho. I popped in for like a second at least, okay? My support is there. And then I went to bed. So, I have a question about oneus again. Oh, yes, of course, of course. It helps me know the members better in many groups and was wondering if they have their own variety show on their channel where they do games and all this stuff. Ooh, oneus doesn't really do that. I actually recommend watching, do I recommend that though? It has Raven in it. Not that that's bad, but here's the thing. oneus doesn't have like their own. They have like small videos. Let me try to find the most recent one. I would maybe recommend their one. It's called Rest House, but that came out like 2 years ago. Let me see. Oh, I would maybe watch. Okay, so the most recent one it's called Spoiler, and then it has a red X in it. I would watch that because that really helps showcase a lot of their personality, and it's kind of in that style of like variety show. I would also recommend. They really don't be doing things like that. They said we don't do things like that. Oh, the oneus do it episodes. Those are kind of similar, but they're all like one-off things. I would recommend a lot of those though as well. I watched Kunhe's live in Detroit. My friend and I were FaceTiming each other and watching and chatting in the Really? I think that's the one I watched too. I think that's the one I watched because I was still at home. That makes sense. Yeah. I think that I was watching that one too. And he slayed. It was so nice seeing him performing here. I was happy. Yeah, unfortunately, I missed the whole performance. I had to go to bed. But I did watch it later on, so I do know he did well. The Soho Times. Yeah, I know. I really do. I check it like the newspaper. And especially because these days, he's been on B stage a lot more frequently. Because like I said, it was kind of throughout the summer. From like April to like July-ish. Or maybe June. April to June. It was for a few months. Where he was like making it a routine to get on B stage. Like post on B stage every weekend. Like Friday and Saturday. So I started like mentally scheduling. I was like, Soho's gonna be on post on B stage today, and it's like Friday. And so every weekend I started looking forward to it. And then all of a sudden he starts posting like throughout the week. It's like a Tuesday, and he sends a post. I'm like, it's not Saturday. What are you doing? And so I think now we're kind of in that era where like he kind of just posts whenever he wants to, in a certain time period though. It's not any time outside of that time period. And like I'm never awake at that time. I don't think I'll ever be awake at that time. So I have to read them in the morning. So now I like, when I look at my phone, it's one of the first things I look for. I'm like, did Soho post today? You know? Like this morning, I think I did that. Because he said something. Do I remember what it said? Not really. I think he said something about performances. I don't remember. It's also like 7 in the morning. It's just too early. Too early. The vertical boy group. Yeah, I would recommend the oneus do it. Rest House is good. We need another season. I know. We need another season, but like they're at the Rest House for like an entire weekend. Like 3 days and 2 nights instead of 2 days and 1 night. I remember it because Connie was saying Pookie and everyone in the room was losing it. That's funny. Virtual work. Oh, I was like, yeah, vertical works too. That's so funny. That is so funny. Yeah. Ah. Okay. I guess I should work on ending the live. I said that a long time ago, and then I got kind of distracted. Anyways, so I hate to cut our conversation short, but I am going to end the stream here for tonight. I will try to stream tomorrow because I'm going to be, I promise you, okay? It's the end of the summer, so like I should not be busy on weekends after this weekend. Last or next weekend I'm gonna be busy, but it's like I think I can probably still stream if I want to. But this is the last weekend that I'm going to be busy where I can't stream. Okay? However, that being said, I'm going to be busy this weekend, so I can't stream. So I think I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow. When did you go live? I just got here. I've been live for like an hour and a half. I'm so sorry. I know you just got here. But I will I'll commit. Okay, I will commit. I will be live tomorrow because I will not be live this weekend. So just to fit in one more stream. So with that, I will see you all tomorrow if you are available. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me yap, especially about oneus, because you know I love doing that. You know that's my favorite thing in the entire world. So thank you so much for letting me yap and for listening and all this stuff. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Just ended stream 2, okay? I hope you have a good rest of your night, and I hope you have a good day tomorrow, or you're having a good day right now, or you had a good day today. And I will see you guys all tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. Okay. All right, bye everyone. I'll see you next time, which is tomorrow. Oh, this, okay.